You know your wife. You've shared a life for 15, 20 years. You've built a home, raised kids, faced storms together. You think you know the woman sleeping next to you. Then, one day, you don't. It's not a slow fade. It's a fracture. One day she's planning the family vacation. The next, she's got a new glow. A secret smile when her phone buzzes. A distance in her eyes you can't bridge. You're standing there, holding a bag of groceries, wondering what the hell just happened to your marriage. Brother, you're not alone. It's happening everywhere. And everyone acts surprised, like the warning signs weren't written in biology and psychology years ago. You thought because she built a life with you, she was immune. You thought your history was a shield. Let me be clear, you were living in a fantasy. There is a shift that happens in a woman's life between 35 and 45. It's not a midlife crisis. For men, that's about recapturing youth. For women, it's a fundamental rewiring. And if you don't understand it, it will detonate your life. To get it, you need to understand the foundation of a woman's identity. From the time she's a girl, society tells her that her value is tied to her beauty, to being desired. Be pretty, be wanted, be the one they chase. For 20 years, from 15 to 35, that program runs perfectly. The world confirms it. Men look, compliments flow. She feels seen. She feels valuable. Then, biology does what biology always does. It starts to take back what it gave. She looks in the mirror one morning and she sees a stranger. Not because she's ugly, but because she's different. The face that used to turn heads now gets a polite smile. The body that commanded attention is now just a mom.
This isn't vanity. This is an identity collapse. Think of it like this. Imagine you're a professional athlete. Your entire sense of self, your worth, your purpose, is tied to your physical performance. Then, one day, you can't perform like you used to. You're not bad, but you're not you. Now, multiply that psychological earthquake by 10, and you'll start to understand the quiet panic happening in your wife's mind. And here's where it gets dangerous. Instead of gracefully moving into a new chapter, modern culture tells her to panic, to rage against the dying of the light, to declare war on time itself. And the first casualty in that war? Your marriage. Let's talk about validation. At 22, a compliment from a stranger is background noise. She knows she's got it. But when that same compliment hits a 42-year-old woman, it's a lightning strike. It's pure, unadulterated proof that she's still in the game. And that proof becomes a drug. And your devotion, your years of love and support, that's the baseline. That's obligated. He's married to her. Of course he finds her attractive. But that random guy at the coffee shop, his attention is chosen. It's authentic. It's a hit of pure dopamine that your stable, predictable love can't compete with. This is the brutal truth. A married woman over 40 is the easiest target for seduction. Not because she's a bad person, but because she's starving. She's starving for the thrill of being chosen by someone who doesn't have to choose her. And once she gets that first taste, it's over. Not immediately, but inevitably. Because now she remembers what that feels like. And that memory becomes an itch that your love can no longer scratch.
So, what are the signs?
How do you know the countdown has started? It begins with the nostalgia. She starts talking about her past with a sparkle, not embarrassment. The ex-boyfriends weren't jerks, they were exciting adventures. Her wild years weren't something she outgrew. They were the real her. She's not living in the present anymore. She's mourning a past that's gone. Then comes the new counsel. Suddenly, she's spending all her time with newly divorced friends. And these women aren't friends, they're dealers. Their product is poison, disguised as wisdom. You deserve better. Life's too short. Find yourself. They gather for wine nights that are really grievance sessions. Your stable marriage, through their lens, gets reframed as a prison. Your reasonable expectations become oppression. They are building a case for her, and you're the defendant who doesn't even know the trial has started. Next, the digital fantasy. Social media becomes her new reality. She's not comparing her life to other marriages. She's comparing her behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. The algorithm feeds her exactly what her panicking brain wants. Stories of brave women starting over, finding love after 40, living their truth. Every scroll confirms her deepest fear. Everyone else is living better, and it's not too late for her to join them. And finally, the physical reinvention. It starts subtle, new skincare, different hair. Then it escalates. Drastic diets, clothes that belong on someone half her age, obsessive workouts. She's not trying to look good anymore. She's trying to look young. There's a desperation in it, a fight against the inevitable. You'll see the withdrawal. She needs space. She has mysterious commitments. She's either picking constant fights, building that justification to leave, or she's eerily, unnervingly pleasant, which means she's managing a mountain of guilt for what she's already doing or planning to do. Now let's talk about the other man. It's never a vague idea. It's always one specific guy. A coworker, an old flame on Facebook, the personal trainer. Suddenly her fantasies have a face and a name. She'll swear it's innocent. We're just friends. You're being paranoid. But you'll see the changes. His name comes up too often. She's protective of her phone. She lights up when she talks about him. The emotional connection she's building with him is a connection she's severing from you. And society? Society applauds this destruction. They call it brave. They say she's living her truth. Nobody tells her the truth, that beauty fades for everyone, that attention is a drug, and that building something lasting is infinitely more valuable than chasing something fleeting. They don't show her the aftermath. They don't show the woman 6 months later, when the new guy turns out to be just another flawed human. They don't show her spending holidays alone because the kids chose to stay with dad. They don't show the exhaustion of starting over at 45. She traded a deep connection for a shallow high, a real partnership for a temporary spark. And you know what's the cruelest part? The history rewrite. After she leaves, your entire marriage becomes a lie. We were never happy. I was pretending the whole time. She needs to paint you as the villain to justify the devastation. Because admitting she blew up her family for a feeling, that truth would break her. So, what's a man to do? First, see it early. If your wife's entire identity is built on being desired, if she can't handle aging gracefully, you need to be aware. This isn't about jealousy. It's about pattern recognition. Second, understand this. Her leaving is not your failure. You cannot love someone out of an existential crisis. You represent the life she built, the years that have passed, the reality she's trying to escape. You are a mirror, reflecting everything she's afraid of. Third, and this is critical, protect yourself. Document your life. Secure your assets. Be a phenomenal father. Prepare for the possibility that when she decides to blow up her life, she will try to take you down with her. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. The brutal, unfiltered truth is this: the modern world did not prepare women for aging. It taught them their value was in their youth and beauty, and when that begins to fade, many panic. They were taught to follow their feelings, and when their feelings change,
They follow them right out the door. This isn't about all women. There are incredible women of character who understand that a life built together is the greatest adventure of all. But they are becoming rarer because our culture encourages the opposite. So if you're watching this and you see the signs, the nostalgia, the new counsel, the digital obsession, the withdrawal, don't ignore it. The woman you married at 25 doesn't exist anymore. She's been replaced by someone wearing her face, someone who is terrified of being ordinary, terrified of being invisible. And in that terror, she is capable of destroying everything you've built, just to feel special one more time. Don't say you weren't warned.